Hello, podcast downloaders, downloading the podcasters, people that download podcasts and people that get podcasts. Hello, welcome to the Really Will Show. You all right?
All right.
You all
Are
right?
you talking to us or?
Well, I don't know. It's weird, isn't it? I said all right, and then like, a voice said all right.
We were
so
waiting for a proper introduction.
You get that in the actual show. This is the
Okay.
pre-podcast. This is the podcast intro to the show.
Okay.
Because this is what happens. Anybody that's just tuned in right now, this is the Really Real Show. This is the podcast. We in this show, you're going to hear what was put out on Chelmsford Community Radio on CCR, where the show goes out every Saturday night at 8 o'clock. But you're going to hear none of the adverts, no music. It's all going to be cut down just for you.
All the good bits.
Like on demand. It's like, you know, when you click on like one of those Netflix shows or something, you've got no adverts. Perfect.
Yeah.
Amazing. I
Sky,
love that.
Sky Plus.
Bosh, that's it. See, this is convenient podcasting. So
I've never seen you make that face before, Nick. That
What?
was weird.
Yeah, I realise it doesn't work on a podcast.
I saw it though. Amy witnessed
It was kind of like a fist pump, just, you know. in
Why are you doing that with your cheek?
It's like Popeye.
Yeah. That was
So,
weird.
obviously, you can hear that Parker isn't here. Because usually it's Barker and Parker. Yeah, but she's dissed me for the last 2 weeks now.
Should we tell people what our new name is?
well, the less catchy name.
Yes,
No,
so-
it's our bank name.
Yes. Go.
Barkley Thompson.
Barkley Thompson. You'll hear it in the show. We come up with tried to work it out in the show. Now. It was a good show though. We've just recorded it.
Yep.
It's all been gone out. You know, if you listen to the podcast, it's long gone. It's in the past.
It is.
You know what I mean? It's in the future. This is what I love about podcasting. It's always in the future.
So
Or is it always in the past?
So hold on. Yeah, I'm confused.
Okay.
So we've done the show, but this is going to be before the show.
This is for the podcasters
You weren't
because
listening, was you, Nick?
the podcast is the show replayed for people that haven't heard it. Heard it. Heard it. Lucky I can edit. I'm not going to. From 8 till 9 on CCR every Saturday night. If you're busy that time, like a lot of people are,
Yeah.
I take that and I put it into this podcast, like a little capsule podcast, an audio time capsule, a podcast.
I get all that.
We are currently introducing.
So we are going
That's
to introduce.
the show.
That's what I wanted to clarify. But are we pretending that the show hasn't begun yet?
Obviously not, because I'm explaining to you right now that the show's about to begin in a minute when we sort of introduce the show now. We're just doing this is for the podcasters.
I get that
this
bit.
This is for them.
I understand that bit. Are we supposed to pretend the show's about to happen or that we've just done it?
Well, there's no point now, because now we're explaining
No,
it. It
'cause
doesn't
now-
make sense.
Now
does
we
it?
could just be like, "Oh man, I'm so excited to talk about some films."
Well, that's what I was asking. Should I pretend to be like that?
Yeah, but I find that really fake and awkward, and I find that a bit patronising to the listener who
Yeah.
thinks they're like, "Look,
Okay.
mate, we know you didn't record this before the show.
Okay.
Stop trying to pretend that you're just about to record it."
We might be criticising actors and such as this is a film podcast, but we're no actors ourselves.
Hey, speak for yourself. I was in Bugsy Malone back at the school.
Were you?
Yeah,
In school.
I did
I
a
was-
Bugsy Malone dance when I was younger.
yeah. What
What was
Tallulah
it?
one?
Tallulah, yeah,
yeah.
that's it.
You look like a Tallulah. You do.
I was not Tallulah. I was one of the girls on the side.
Yeah.
I was not.
Story of
in
your
the middle.
life.
It is
isn't
the story of my life. No one wants to see me. Everyone was there for the other girl. No one cared.
You're such a Debbie Downer on this podcast sometimes. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, everybody hates me. I'm such a tomboy. It's good.
I don't think being a tomboy is a bad thing.
Yeah, but the way you
I'm-
were saying it, I hate Han. Yeah, listen later. She starts going how much she hated Anne Hathaway.
Out of order.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take it back, so.
Oh, she could be the new Mary Poppins. You know,
Is that right?
maybe her and Emily Blunt. Who knows?
Or,
who
or
would you
both
pick?
of them?
Who would you
Two
pick?
Mary Poppins.
Two Poppins.
I hate Mary
they're both
Poppins, so I'm
going-
going to throw it out
What?
No.
Right,
No.
explain this before. We're not starting any show until you've explained this hatred
there.
towards.
Why is Nick saying no?
She's practically
Look,
perfect in every way.
he looks really angry.
It's a national treasure.
Have we not had this conversation?
We've had the conversation where, like, how strange is this? Your childhood, you never saw Mary Poppins, so you've watched it as an adult. Maybe because we watched it growing up,
Together.
We have more,
watched it together.
back in those
Answer
days.
me this
Back in the
then.
hood.
Okay, answer me this. Do you think Mary Poppins is a good or a bad person?
I think that she's a little bit rude and a bit.
Yes.
I said this to Emily because she loves Mary Poppins, and I was like, she's literally we're living an obesity crisis right now. You know, in this world, that kids are getting fat, and she's shoving sugar down their throat, and she's like, "Eat this sugar."
Shoving sugar.
Just a spoonful of sugar. Well, this medicine.
Yeah.
go
No,
down.
she's
I
the
think she's
kind of
incredibly
person.
rude.
She's the kind of person where, as a child, when she'd first arrive at your house, you'd think, oh, she's like bad news.
Yeah.
She's really strict.
She's like a
she
headmistress.
won't be much fun. But they're the kind of people that kids love the most. Like, the kids don't realise it, but they love structure. They love rules. They love discipline. They won't admit
do.
it, but they do. And so that's what Mary Poppins is. She's a very good influence on the household.
I didn't say she was bad at caring for children. I'm saying she's rude. I don't like the woman, all right? I don't like her.
Okay, so well, on that note, let's just get into the show. Let everyone hear the rest of the
Debbie
show.
Downer.
We'll be back at the end where we can probably talk about other Disney characters that Amy hates.
Put that coffee down, because it's time for the really real show with Adam Barker and Emily Parker. Seriously, Parker and Barker, you can't write this stuff. It rhymes. Get it?
Ain't no stopping us now.
Well, I am familiar with your compulsion to follow the rules, but you see, I can't do that.
So fetch. What is fetch? Oh, it's like slang from England.
I felt a great disturbance in the force.
What have we done?
He is coming. Cover your butt.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Really Real Show here on Chelmsford Community Radio. I am Adam and today I'm joined by two people in the studio. One of them is...
Amy.
And the other one is...
Nick.
Who's Nick?
Who is Nick?
Who are Nick?
Should I explain?
Yeah, I think you should introduce both of you.
Okay, well, my name's Amy and I'm from Chelmsford Community Radio. I am the presenter of Fresh Friday as well as Drive at 5 with you, Adam.
Yes.
Nick is my fiance and fellow co-creator of our travel podcast, which is called What the Faux.
That's right. And this is quite funny because for our podcast, I pretend, really, to be a podcast host.
Yes.
Now I'm pretending to be a radio presenter. I'm thinking, what shall I do next? Like pilot, doctor?
Hey, we could get away with it.
Yeah?
Go for it. The sky's the limit, mate.
I'm on a roll at the moment.
I'd say
Yeah.
doctor is a no-go. Don't pretend to do surgery on someone. That's just not going to work out.
Okay.
Just told you, mate. Under the thumb, straight away, innit? No, you can't be a Dr. Nick.
Okay, darling.
Hang on, Dr. Nick.
That's right.
That's from Simpsons.
Yeah, but he's a really bad doctor.
Could be you.
Exactly.
It could be you.
That is exactly our point.
Okay.
Anyway, this is the Really Real Show. I've given Emily the week off again because she's out saving the world. You know, because you do know that she's actually Supergirl, right?
Is she?
Yeah.
I knew that.
Have you the new Supergirl TV show that's coming out? It looks just like Emily.
Oh, yep. I heard that podcast.
Yeah, and I'm
Or
thinking,
Really Real Show,
yeah,
even.
and I'm thinking that she actually is her. And it was just
Ah,
really
double
awkward
life.
when I brought it up, and now she's gone off to promote the show.
Right, okay.
But she won't return my calls. Should I be worried?
Yeah.
Okay. So I've got you two in so we can talk movies. I've never had like a real life couple in the studio before.
Well.
Do you feel like a third wheel?
I feel proper gooseberry right now.
Yeah.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
So it's more gooseberry, not like threesome.
No, this is ultra like no fishbowl in this one. This is like
I think as most couples go, we're quite good at making the third person not feel like a third wheel. Do you think?
We do that a lot. So we've got a lot of friends who
Yeah.
who were couples and then they haven't. It's been awkward, but we still want to see them.
Yeah.
And then we end up just being a three, don't we?
But it's never weird, seriously.
It's not, especially with our friend we met in India, James.
Yeah. But you'll find out over the course of the show that it won't be weird.
Don't worry, we're not going to start like touching each other up
yeah.
during the
Start
thing.
kissing randomly during one of the links.
Even when we're
We
on
don't do
our
that.
own, I'm
Yeah.
like, stay away from me.
We don't do
mate.
that at home, so there's no problem here.
Touch me.
Get away from me
Yeah.
now.
You're like Pleasantville couple, you two, aren't you?
I don't know what that means.
Neither do I, but I'm politely laughing.
Well, seeing it's a
Please
movie
explain.
show, I'd explain to you.
Yes, go on.
Pleasantville was a movie made in 1999 starring Tobey Maguire and Reese Witherspoon and Paul Walker. When they went,
love Paul
they went
Walker.
back in time to an old 60s TV show where everybody was so very prim and proper. And they got taken into this world and then they kind of brought in modern sort of things and they started kissing and every time they did something different they turned into colour.
Oh my god,
Ah.
is it a good film? It sounds good.
It's pretty decent.
Oh, I think, what's it called?
Pleasantville.
Sounds
I'm
different.
I'm
Yeah.
actually going to write a note on my phone because I love Paul Walker as well.
Yeah.
To the extent where, right, this is really embarrassing. I should never admit this. You know, everybody has a really embarrassing email address when they're younger, where it's just like
Well, like
Yeah.
Little Miss Naughty or something like that. At Hotmail.
AmyLovesYou.com.
Yeah, mine was I love Paul Walker at hotmail.com. Don't email me because it's not currently in use.
So you had I Love Paul Walker at Hotmail? But you didn't have to put a
One
one
of them,
or
yeah.
nothing?
You got the original.
got the one.
I think I did, yeah. I was like first in there before anyone else.
What year was this?
Oh, I don't know. I don't record email address years.
I was trying to think. He didn't get big, did he, till Fast and Furious in 2001?
Well,
That came out.
2 Fast 2 Furious used to be my favourite film of all time.
Yeah.
I was about to give... No, ignore me. I was going to tell you something, but I was like, I can't give that information out.
Ooh,
yeah.
exclusive. What was that?
Oh, now Nick wants to know. Actually, don't bother. No, this is going to get awkward. It's going to get weird.
Oh, I'll tell you after the show. I was going to give out my password to this email address. And I was like, that's not a good idea.
That could have been an epic fail.
Yeah.
So I got you two on the Really Real Show because obviously I did the shows with Amy, and I was like, Amy, come on the Really Real Show. You know, we've done it before and that. And I'm like, bring Nick. He
Exactly.
wants to be on the radio.
Well, yeah, after you were impressed by my podcast work.
I am very impressed. I mean, because if anybody out there's listening, I mean, obviously this show goes out on Chance Community Radio like it is right now, but we also podcast it. And on the podcast sort of area that we have, I have your podcast. I'm kind of like your secret producer for that
Yeah.
show.
You are.
You own us.
I do a little bit.
Yeah, you do.
I have the power to like delete you.
Can
Don't
you
do that.
Well, can you imagine? Let's say, okay, we're dreaming now. Let's say in years to come we win some award.
Yeah.
We wouldn't even know we've been nominated, and then we'd see you accepting it. You're like, oh, I'd like to thank my parents for always believing in me. And we're thinking that's our podcast, but you're right, you own us.
It's because what happens every time like things are going on, and I'm doing a podcast, and someone goes, "Oh, I love your podcast," and this happens. Thank you very much. Yes, I love it. So, Really Real Show. We're going to be talking movies today. I mean, it's a bit different because Parker's not here. So it's Barker Lee and
Thompson.
Thompson. Parker
How
Lee
can
and
we make that
Thompson.
work?
Thompson Lee.
Barker
Barks?
Thompson Lee. Barker Thompson Lee. Barker Lee Thompson. Barker Lee Thompson.
Barker Lee Thompson. That almost sounds like two words rather than three, doesn't it? Barker Lee Thompson.
Barkley Thompson.
Barker
No,
Lee
you- no,
Thompson.
you've-
No, that sounds like a
you've ruined
bank.
it.
Yeah.
It sounds like what?
That sounds like a bank, doesn't it? Barkley.
Barkley Thompson.
Barkley
Yeah,
Thompson.
Sounds like a formal company. And we ain't formal on this show, are we?
Hey, it's a very professional show.
I don't mean it like that. I just mean like
Relaxed.
we
Yes.
don't. What is
chilled,
it? You don't
friendly.
cross your T's and dot your I's. I don't. Right, let's move on.
Don't even
Whoa.
pronounce your words properly either. So,
Amy, you're being harsh.
so what I thought I'd do, I asked you a couple of questions to bring in some answers. To. And they were just simple questions to do with movies because everyone
They
likes
were.
talking movies in this show. Everyone loves it. So I asked both of you the simple question: what film were you really excited to see, but were really let down by?
Who's going first?
Ladies first.
Right, so
Okay.
you go, Nick.
That's it.
Wait.
Right, so
So mine was quite a recent one. It was Paper Towns.
Oh, the Cara Delevingne one.
Yes.
Okay.
So really excited for this film, to the extent where I used it as one of my bucket list items, where it was to go to the cinema by myself. So I went by myself, chilled out one afternoon when I didn't have work. I thought, yeah, I'm just gonna go cinema by myself, and yeah, no, not happy.
No?
I feel like because Cara Delevingne, she used to be a supermodel, and she's now venturing into acting, singing, and all of that. I just kind of feel like her character was built up to be this promiscuous girl going through like teenage years, growing into a woman, and all of this. I just feel like she wasn't promiscuous enough, and what?
you need more promiscuity.
Yeah, I need more. But I don't know. She was meant to be a bit naughty and fun, and she was, but she did things like egging her ex-boyfriend's house because he cheated on her. It's like, oh,
Lame.
do something better than that.
Boring.
I can't even remember if it was
Did-
egging,
did
but
you-
she did something to his house.
The reason.
Did she paper the house?
Nah.
Paper Towns?
Is the reason why you went to watch the film just because of her, because you love her?
Yeah, she did draw me into the film. I do love a bit of Cara. But I don't know.
No, but do you like her because she's an actress, or do you like her just because she has like the most epic eyebrows in the world?
The eyebrows help.
Yeah.
But I'd never seen her in a film before, so I was intrigued to see how much of a good actress she was, because she's a good model. So.
Well, just because you're a good model doesn't mean you're going to be a good actress.
No,
really,
but
does
I'm
it? You could be the worst
fascinated.
actress
I'm
in the world.
fascinated if she's so good at something. How can she be that good at something else?
It's
Oh, I
Everyone's
see
got
what
their thing, and I was seeing what is her thing.
It's all like performing, isn't it? Being a model and actress.
Yeah.
Does it come under the same bracket?
It is a
No.
question then.
Oh.
How do you become a good model? It's just standing there looking good, isn't it?
Jeans. Not like Levi's.
Oh, you're wearing jeans. Who makes a good model? It's just jeans.
Good question. I think you either have it or you don't. You're photogenic or you're not. I, for one, am not photogenic.
Correct.
Nick will.
Seriously?
It's true.
That's so quick to answer. Nick, do you not understand? You're supposed to kind of leave a gap.
No, he's supposed to be honest.
We believe
look
in
how
honesty.
well trained he is.
No, it's true. You can't take a picture, can you?
I can't. I'm hideous.
That's ridiculous. I've seen lovely pictures of you.
When you don't
If
know the
I-
camera's there.
Yeah, if I've ever got a nice picture, and it's like, say if it's a selfie, that's a good 1,000 selfies down the line. Where I've tried really hard to get one,
Oh,
and that
fair
just
enough.
about looks alright, but nah.
Sorry, Nick's
We've
like,
moved on
yeah,
from
correct.
paper towns to selfies very quickly. I don't know how that happened.
So you were really let down by paper towns.
Yeah,
See, I really want to see it. But
I'd say go see it.
Mm.
But I've seen it a million times before. I've seen that film. What
Yeah,
was the one
yeah,
that
yeah.
we saw in the cinema? Oh, Mayflower.
Wallflower.
Wallflower.
Perks of being a
yeah.
wallflower.
Similar to that, but like nowhere near as good.
I like that. That was a really
Yeah,
good film.
I really liked
Yeah.
that film. It was really clever.
Yeah, that was good.
And especially with like the twist at the end and finding out who the woman was and things like that. I'm not
Yeah.
going to give any spoilers away, but a very clever film and really relatable as well. Like going through that whole teenage years is for most people horrible, and it makes you feel comfortable in your own skin. And I think it's a really clever film. But Paper Towns, nah.
Nah. Let down by. Mm-hmm. It was one of the.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was trying to press the hotkeys, but it was so far under the thingy. I just don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, it's a nice formal show. Anyway, so Nick, why don't you tell me a film that you were so excited about seeing that you couldn't hold your excitement in any longer, that you got there and you were so let down by it?
The way you just asked that question probably means my answer doesn't make much sense, because I was thinking, okay, a film I was really excited about seeing that let me down. I couldn't really think of one I was really excited about, but I know one I did want to see was Ant-Man. I wanted to see that. Paul Rudd, isn't it?
Yes,
like
yeah.
Superhero
I
film.
haven't seen it. I really want to see it.
And it was so bad.
So bad.
No,
So
no,
bad.
take it back.
But we were with some friends who actually thought, I thought that was really good. But I can't put
Is
my
it
finger
Marvel?
on. Yeah, I think
Is
so.
it Marvel? Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy we were with is a Marvel fan.
Yeah.
So you might like it, but I think he just wanted to like it so bad that he said he liked it.
Right, okay.
I like some Marvel films. I like all the superhero stuff.
Oh, same.
But Ant-Man, I like Paul Rudd as well. So it had all the ingredients to be a good film. And it even got some good reviews. I heard on some other radio shows
Yeah.
it got good reviews. So I was looking forward to seeing it. And I can't put my finger on what it was. I think, was it the acting? Was it the writing?
The plot.
Was it the cast, the plot? And actually, I think it was a combination of all those things. I just thought it was really silly and just, when you watch a film and you just don't care about the characters.
Yes, that's exactly what
You
it is.
just
Towards
don't
the end,
care.
like I couldn't even tell you what happened because nothing happened.
We lost interest. And I thought the love story between him and the main girl, who I'm not giving too much away, but anyway, most films there is kind of a love story there. And I didn't believe their story at all.
No.
I thought it was rubbish.
Yeah.
Wow, I don't know about mate. Jesus. Oh, that's such a shame. I can't wait to see it.
It's rubbish. But then the friend we were with really liked it, so maybe we were just being grumpy.
I'm a massive Marvel fan, massive superhero fan. I love all like the Avengers and the Batmans and the Spider-Man.
the
Yeah.
Batman, the DC comics of the Batman, that's like one of my favourite films ever, especially
Yeah.
the Dark Knight with the Joker.
Yes.
Superb. Yeah, I like all the superhero stuff, but yeah, it's rubbish.
I think you need to watch it again.
No, I don't want to waste another 2 hours of my life.
Life is
Or was
too
it 3
short.
hours? It felt like 10.
No, it's only about 2.5 probably.
Oh, no, never again.
Oh.
Not worth it.
Well,
Rubbish.
now I feel awkward. You said, do I feel weird? Now I feel awkward because now I feel like I don't even know you two. It's not really, just like awkward silence.
I've said all I need to say.
Next question.
No, we're going to play some adverts because apparently that's what we do on this station.
Oh, okay, cool.
So, yeah, you're listening to The Really Real Show here on Chelmsford Community Radio. I am here with Amy and Nick, and we'll be back after you've heard some people try and sell you stuff.
Talking films and more. It's Barker and Parker with The Really Real Show on CCR.
It's The Really Real Show. What are you dancing for? Both
'Cause we
of
love
you.
it.
You're both dancing.
I like the music.
You're dancing like Ricky Gervais in The Office, you are.
Oh dear.
Oh, yeah.
Not
We
anymore.
do that a lot when we're like watching TV and the ads come on and there's like a really good song or something.
Just a beat.
It's like we don't even laugh at ourselves anymore. We just do it.
It's normal.
We'll like hip thrust
Normalised.
or do something. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just a little insight into our relationship there.
Imagine being a fly on the wall in our house.
Or people could just listen to your podcast
Or
to get
that.
to know you.
Nice
couldn't they?
plug, I like
nice.
it.
Let's have a little chat about your podcast.
Okay.
Yeah. Because
All
we
right.
can. It's my show. All right?
Alright.
So, oi, anyone listening that says you can't do it, shame on you. It's my show. Anyway. So tell me about your podcast, Nick.
The podcast. So yeah, it's a travel podcast, and we're really keen travellers. Whenever we can, you know how a lot of people, once they find a holiday destination that they like, they'll keep going back there.
Yeah.
And that's fine. You spend your money on what you enjoy doing, but we're just like, right, one place done. Where's the next place?
Yeah,
we
take
just,
a
we just
gamble.
we just want to explore everywhere. And I mean, all the places we've been, India was our favourite. So we will go back there again one day, but there's still so much more to see. So we love to travel. We started the podcast to share that with people, to engage with other travellers, tell stories, have a laugh, but we wanted to present it in a way where you've sat with your mates, the way you talk to your mates about travelling, you know, none of this kind of, you must have insurance, you must pack a spare pair of socks and things like that.
Yeah.
Just, you know, talk about some fun stuff, have a laugh, and, yeah, try to entertain people, really. That's what we do.
I'd just like to add to that as well. So the reason why I thought about setting up a podcast like this is because I wanted to listen to one. Yeah, I just couldn't find it. There wasn't one that explored like backpackers do, where you're talking about the crazy stories of what happened in Bangkok and when
Yeah.
you got drunk and all of this. It's all very Attenborough or Michael Palin kind of style, which is brilliant, definitely. But it's for an older genre. Like on a Sunday afternoon, I'd watch Attenborough all day. I love it. But then there is a time and a place. And I just found that I couldn't find a good young podcast for young travellers.
So we couldn't find it, so we made it.
And then
Boom.
you were like, Adam, how do you make a podcast? Can you
Yeah.
give me a hand making
Help,
a podcast,
Adam.
please? Yeah, and I'll nick some of your, like, you know, status, make a podcast. It's like, yeah, all right, here you go.
Exactly.
Jump on the podcast, bandwagon.
Thanks, Adam.
That's right.
Have we said what the podcast's called?
It's called What the Pho, and pho is spelled PHO because it's like the Vietnamese soup.
Soup. So it's about soup. It's a podcast about soup.
It's What the Soup is essentially what it's called. I've never called it.
Oh, yeah,
Said it
I
like that.
think we should change the name now, actually. It doesn't have a good ring to it.
There's a load of people in like Vietnam and they're going, there's a podcast about soup. They don't mention soup once. That's what I'm saying.
People are very confused.
Okay, well, if you want to check out that podcast, you can by going to the Spreaker page that you downloaded this podcast at, because we released this as a podcast. Obviously, if you're listening to this as a podcast right now, you know that.
That's how we listen to it, as a podcast.
Well, my show, this show.
Yeah.
I'll check you out.
When is it live on air?
Oh, yeah, I don't even know what day. It's Wednesdays, right?
No? What are you talking about?
It's right now.
Saturdays.
Right now. Saturday night,
right
8
now.
o'clock.
Oh,
On
yes.
Chelmsford Community Radio.
Saturday night, 8 o'clock, of course it is.
Yeah, and then it's podcasted for all you lovely podcast people out there that love a podcast from
Yeah.
9 o'clock.
See, this is why I just get so confused, because I've listened to What the Pho. I've listened to a Really Real Show. So I've really messed up here. I'm going to just be quiet.
Well, no, that's the beauty of a podcast. You can listen to it whenever you want. That's
Exactly.
what I love about a podcast.
Correct.
Like, there's people right now who are going, why are they talking about it being like on a Saturday night? It's not. It's a Sunday morning at 5 o'clock. Just finished work.
Exactly.
Exactly. And
Do you
this
know
is
what?
for you.
I actually listen to a Really Real Show because I like to listen to stuff while I go to bed. And yeah, like 1 in the morning we were listening to one. Do you remember?
We were. Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Ah,
We
was
weren't.
I on it? Or was it one week when I wasn't?
It was you and
Yeah, it was you and Emily, yeah.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Oh, okay. You a fan? You like it?
Yeah, I can't remember what you were talking about. I think it was when you was talking about Spectre or Spectra, as Emily likes to say it.
I think it's Spectra. I think it is still Spectra.
It's Spectre.
It's Spectre.
I know, but I keep calling it Spectre. And I really want it to be Spectre. Right, anyway, really real show. We talk about movies here. So I'm going to ask you a question. Nick! Get your
He got well scared then.
Get my notes.
Name me an actor or actress that you used to love, used to be a fan of, but you are no more.
I think definitely the answer to that would be Adam Sandler.
Right.
I think you expected me to say Will Ferrell, weren't you?
Yeah, okay, so we said earlier, don't tell each other the answers and we'll guess. And I was thinking Will Ferrell.
Yeah. Both, actually, to be fair, both I think used to be brilliant. Adam Sandler's done some really good stuff, like Big Daddy.
Love that.
Yeah, and even like some of the sillier things like Little Nicky, like really, really good fun. But yeah, lately he's been bringing out some rubbish, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I feel like
he's
he's
Penguin film.
No, that was Jim Carrey.
Oh,
Wasn't it?
yeah, that was. Yeah.
So that's another one for you.
Yeah.
But to me, he seems to now, like, he's kind of made his name, he's got his reputation. He just seems like it's kind of an auto drive now, and he's just like, yeah, I'll do this film, whatever, put a bit of effort into it. And because I'm Adam Sandler, there'll be an audience, but yeah, I don't think he really cares anymore, to be honest.
The thing with Adam Sandler, though, is that he pretty much makes what movies he wants to make, which makes it even worse.
He's got his own production company.
Yeah.
Is it Happy Madison?
Happy Madison, yeah.
Yeah, so, and it's always the same group of guys, which I used to really love because they were all really good together. You know, because there was always the "you can do it" guy on all the films. But
it's like they're not friends with him anymore, isn't it? Rob Schneider got kind of like kicked to the curb. After Grown Ups, remember Grown Ups? You seen Grown Ups?
We see that's the kind of stuff that I avoided because it just got rubbish. And I haven't seen his new film, which is out now, Pixels, but I've heard terrible things.
It's what it is. It's giant Pac-Man, isn't it? And giant Donkey Kong. I mean, what would you expect from a movie like that? It's Adam Sandler. What I didn't get with Pixels is that it's an Adam Sandler movie, but it's also a kids' movie. And there's a lot of Adam Sandler smutty jokes in it.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's a kids' movie.
So you're thinking, who's the audience here?
Yeah, so I'm watching it.
That's a bit awkward.
And I'm like, there's a joke, it's jokes for kids, and then there's a threesome joke at the end. And I'm like, but this is a kids' film,
Not
right?
cool, man.
So
Not cool.
but it's a 12A. But it's a weak
I'm not
12A.
one for one. That, like, I love my adult films.
You've got that quote forever.
You know what I mean. I mean, like...
Clip that. Yeah.
But, I'm messing up today. I'm just going to give up.
Hey, a revelation on tonight's show.
Oh, yeah. So tell me more about these adult films.
I just think if it's a kids' film, keep it as a kids' film.
Yeah.
I don't like this.
Blurring the lines.
Don't manipulate our kids. Just let them be innocent. They're not going to be innocent for long. Just leave them.
But hey, quickly, one exception, a film that is for both adults and kids.
Oh, I know what you're going to say.
Inside Out.
Inside Out.
Yes.
Fantastic.
But not in a rude way.
Did you cry?
Yeah, a lot.
I didn't cry, but
we're both weeping.
I think I was going to cry. Things are, I've got a kid. So
Bing
for
bong.
me, it's even like...
You should cry.
I've got heart stone, mate. I don't cry. I haven't cried
He's a real man.
since I was like 11. But I can get upset. When I get upset, I laugh. So if I'm laughing a lot, it's because I'm upset.
Ooh.
You've laughed a lot
Don't know
on
how I
this
feel about
show so far.
Inside Out, though, yes.
Brilliant.
That,
Good.
great. What a great idea. Though.
I'm not going to say
Very clever.
anything. Just 2 words. Bing bong.
Oh, you'll get me started again.
You're going to start me off now.
There's no spoilers though, boys.
Let's go back to talk about adult movies.
Okay. So, adult movies.
So Adam Sandler, you used to love him. Do you think maybe that's because you've grown up?
Possibly. But I think...
And he hasn't. Maybe that's
yeah,
the issue.
maybe. I think I could watch some of his old films again and still enjoy them. So no, I don't think it's because I've grown up. I think he's just got lazy.
Fair enough, that's a good answer. So Amy, same question to you.
Yes. I've been a bit naughty here. Not with
Oh,
the
we're
adult
talking
films.
about adult
Here we go again.
God, you're making this such a smutty show.
I've swapped your question around.
Don't stick your fingers up at me
Sorry, I was just doing a twisting motion.
with 2 fingers.
Oh, God. So I've had it as an actress that I didn't like, but a film's made me like her.
Okay, okay, that's fair enough. All right, fair. You can change the show around if you want to. Just
Okay.
don't do it again.
All right. Yes, boss. So I've gone with Anne Hathaway.
Oh,
Really, really dislike that woman.
why did you dislike it? Explain why you disliked her.
You know when you just see someone and you just don't like their face that much, and I just think
That's not a reason to not like someone.
I literally cannot come up with a reason. I know I'm this silly person. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna just keep it clean. Silly person in this position. I just didn't like her. Just got that instant thing. I think it came from the Princess Diaries.
I was you jealous because she was like, you know, the young girl with all the frizzy hair and glasses and the spot, and she turned beautiful like that.
No, I was a tomboy, so I didn't really care much for beauty products.
You've never wanted to be a princess, have you?
No.
You just didn't like the fact that she suddenly just become all cool.
No, I just don't like her.
You don't like her face.
Yeah, I just didn't respect her as an actress. I didn't think she was that great.
Right, okay. What about Devil Wears Prada? Weren't a fan of her in that?
I think I have seen that, but it was years ago and I couldn't tell you.
Les Mis, Shave the Head?
Les Mis, I haven't seen it, purposely because everyone keeps going on about seeing it and I don't want to see it.
You're
So
not.
you don't like to be precious.
I've seen it in the theatre,
Right.
Les Mis,
Well,
but I haven't seen the film.
You'll love the movie then, if you like the theatre. You'd love
You don't like movie musicals, do you?
No.
Right, okay.
If you start singing at your way out of a depression hole, not happy about that. Not happy.
You're really depressing me tonight, you are.
Sorry.
You're really putting
So
it
wait,
down.
you didn't like her, but now you do?
I wouldn't go as far as say as like, but I now respect her because of a film that she made,
Right, okay. What
which was
film was it?
Interstellar.
Yeah, it's a good film.
Right, okay.
Well, so you liked her in it? You thought
Yeah, I thought she was a good actress. She played the role really well. Believed her. I kind of forgot she was Anne Hathaway, and that's all you could wish for from a
Yeah, for
actor's
sure.
point of view, I'd imagine.
Yeah, you thought, yeah, I believe you. I believe you're an astronaut.
Yeah. I feel like she just did a lot of training at NASA, and now she's an astronaut, and she's given up her acting career. That's what happened.
So you thought the film was a documentary, essentially.
Yeah. A documentary of Anne Hathaway becoming an astronaut, yeah.
And disappearing from Earth.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so you like, and actually, I don't think you remember this, but you did actually quite like her in is it Batman: The Dark Knight Rises with
Yeah.
Bane?
Yeah.
'Cause she's Catwoman, isn't
Yeah.
she? You thought her character was
I
quite
thought
good in
she's
that.
she's quite sassy in that, and anyone that's walking around in a Catwoman suit is going to be pretty good in my books.
No. Halle Berry was never good as Catwoman.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Good.
I'm not really a
He
fan of the
raised
old
it. He
because that was
raised it.
the old Batman films. I didn't.
No,
not really.
she made that in 2003.
Oh, that
or
was its
something.
own. It was its
Yeah.
own film.
Terrible movie.
Oh,
I don't diss movies that much because if I don't like something, I just don't talk about it. Because if I don't like it, I don't like it. I'm not going
Yeah.
to go on about it. But this one, I have hatred for.
Really?
It's a terrible, terrible movie. It deserves. Whoever made that movie does not deserve to be in the movie business. It's not right.
Goodbye
not
to them
right.
then.
Yeah.
okay.
And it was directed by a man called Pitoff.
Pitoff?
Yep.
Was
exactly.
he Polish?
No, I think he was French.
Oh.
And I don't think anyone's ever
Ah.
seen him again. So, and good riddance. So yeah, so you like Interstellar? Did you like it?
I'm
Interstellar?
now actually second guessing myself. That is the one with
Matthew
Matthew
McConaughey.
McConaughey. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh,
Because
wow,
we
wow,
saw two
wow.
space films around the same time,
Yeah.
and the other one was not Julia Roberts, the one that looks like her.
Oh, Gravity with what's her name?
Sandra Bullock.
Sandra
Sandra
Bullock.
Bullock, yeah.
I just got them confused then. But no, Interstellar really liked it.
Yeah, it was a good film.
Because
A little confusing, but it
yeah,
was good.
but we've watched it twice now, and the second time I thought, yep, no, definitely like this.
Yeah, you understand a lot more. I missed a lot the first time.
So we heard about this film that out of all the space films that are out there, that's the most truthful to space.
Yeah.
In terms of the facts that they gave and what's realistic to be a black hole and things like that. Because obviously we don't fully know everything about black holes at the
And
moment.
you know, like on Star Wars, when a spaceship flies by, it makes a really loud noise. Whereas, of course, in space, there's no noise at all.
Yes.
So, like on Interstellar, when when they're in that ship and it's spinning around above that planet and it explodes, there's a big explosion, but it's
silent.
silence. And things like that, they make it very. They
It's
try
very
to make
scientific film.
it. Yeah, very factual.
And I appreciate that because we both really are into our space, aren't we? Like astronomy and things like that. So
Yeah.
we love a space film.
Yeah.
Always love a space film.
I found Interstellar to be a film that, if you're a fan of bookcases
And ghosts.
and Matthew McConaughey
And dust.
and lots of sand,
Yeah.
dust, you'd love that movie. I don't know. I think I need to watch that film again
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second time it really hits home.
because I watched it and I was like, I love pretentious stuff to a degree. I like Inception. I like Inception. It's very.
Oh, I love
it's
Inception.
very pretentious, but it's cool. It's cool.
What
It's
do you
Leonardo
think's
DiCaprio
pretentious
in it.
about Interstellar?
I think it's like look what we're doing. Look what we're doing. Quick, follow us down this rabbit hole. Look, we're doing this. We're doing it. Look. And then they're putting all this like nice NASA stuff and sciencey stuff. And you're like, wow, yeah, go for it. Yeah. Look what we're doing. Look what we're doing. Look at the bookcase. I'm not going to spoil it, but look at the bookcase. And you're like, and then you get to the end of it and you're just like, really? You made me sit here for 2.5 hours to show me this movie.
You definitely. I see what you're saying. You definitely need to watch it for a second time. So you've only seen it once, yeah?
Saw it once.
Definitely watch it again. I missed so much the first time.
I remember the first time we watched it. We're not giving away any spoilers, but the whole bookcase thing towards the end, you were sitting there going, really?
Yeah.
Come on.
I liked it though. I thought it was a whole bit. It wasn't something I expected, so I was happy with it.
I think also it was some of the characters. I love Christopher Nolan, and he wrote this and directed it.
Right.
He directed the Batman trilogy and Inception and Memento and all that.
Yeah.
He's a very clever director.
Well, I like his work then.
And The Prestige. So I think maybe that's why I was disappointed in this movie, because I just thought, it's like it's like he's standing there with this script, this movie, and he's going, I'm Christopher Nolan. You will like this.
Do you think?
Even though it doesn't really make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is there's a lot of characters in it which are not likeable. But they're not likeable in the fact that you're not supposed to like them. They're just not likeable.
Actually...
Like, Anne Hathaway's
Yeah.
character is not very likeable. Matthew McConaughey's character is a little bit annoying.
The daughter.
The daughter? I would slap her.
Yeah.
Because she is terrible. She's so annoying.
She's annoying, yeah. That's a good
Michael
word for her.
Caine... Why is he even in that movie?
Yeah.
He is not, and
That's
especially at
true.
the end, when he reveals a certain thing that they've been doing all along, and you're just
Yeah.
like, why?
You're making me hate this
You're
film.
Alfred. You should be helping people. You know what I
Not
mean?
Alfred.
And then there's a
Passed
certain
away.
person that shows up halfway through the movie. That's not really a spoiler. Everyone knows it's Matt Damon shows up halfway through the movie.
Yes.
And I'm just like, why are you here?
Mm.
And then that wastes
Yeah.
another 45 minutes of my time to
Yeah.
not really get. But every decision a character makes in that movie
Mm.
is the wrong decision that didn't need to be wrong. And at the end, it's like they go, "Told you should have done that." And then every time they're like, even right at the end, like, you know, I can't spoil it, and I'm just trying to explain to you two. There's a certain bit where the Anne Hathaway character is just sitting there, and you're just like, "Told you."
Yeah.
And she's like, "Told you," and it's like, this is ridiculous. And then at the spinny world, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I liked that though.
I liked it.
I liked
But
it.
then we are space geeks, right? Yeah, anything
I
like that.
anything like that.
So have you seen The Martian?
We have, yeah, we saw it on Sunday at the cinema.
All right, tell me about The Martian. Can you explain The Martian without spoiling anything? Because I really,
Yes.
really, really want to see this movie.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
good.
we can easily do that without spoiling it.
Well, I can just read you the little bio of it.
Okay.
So The Martian, it says, during a manned mission to Mars, astronaut Mark Watney is presumed dead after a fierce storm and left behind his crew. But Watney has survived and finds himself stranded and alone on a hostile planet, which is Mars. With only meagre supplies, he must draw upon his ingenuity, wit and spirit to subsist and find a way to signal to Earth that he's alive.
And what's really intriguing about it is, because I think the whole way through you're thinking, how's he going to survive? Because, again, this is not a spoiler. Once his crew have left, the next mission to Mars is not going to be for another four to 5 years.
Yeah.
He's
wait.
got supplies at maximum to last him a year or two at max.
It was, over 400 souls, and a soul is a day.
A day on Mars. So yeah, he has no choice but to try to grow food on a planet where nothing grows.
There's no bacteria or anything that can grow on Mars. So
There's water on Mars, though. They proved
I
it.
think there is, yeah.
Now there
I
is.
don't know whether they say that on the film, though.
Oh,
is it-
they probably didn't know, didn't they? It only came out last week.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But yeah, so he's a very clever guy. Being an astronaut, he's a scientist,
It's Matt Damon.
and
Cleverest man in the world.
he's Matt Damon. But
Exactly, and that always helps.
really clever, really interesting.
Yeah.
Some films where someone's in isolation for a long time, maybe a little bit like Phone Booth, where it's like it's in one area, one guy, one place, the whole film. It's kind of he's in isolation a lot of the time, but they make it really entertaining and really quite funny in places.
Absolutely, yeah. So it was really funny in places like, again, we're not going to give any spoilers, but there's a whole concept of disco music, and I'm not going to tell you why,
Right.
but there's this whole concept of disco music throughout the film relating to one of the crew members, and it's just really funny where you might be in a tense moment and then suddenly disco music starts playing, and it just lightens everyone in the cinema, everyone that's watching it, and it brings that humour out. And I think it's really clever the way they worked with Matt Damon, like the main character. So he's on a planet by himself, so you'd think there wouldn't be hardly any dialogue. The film, obviously, well, not obviously, it comes from a book, and he does a lot of video diaries back to, like, if anyone came up to Mars, they'd be able to collect all that footage and stuff. So that's how he has dialogue with the audience, and you know what's going on. He explains, like, how he's making the food and stuff like that. It's really clever. But he's the best way to describe it, he's an optimist, isn't he? And that's where his humour really, really comes out. He's just, I don't know. Like, there'd be when Earth know that he's up there, and they just say, like, oh, how must he be feeling? He's up there all by himself right now. And then, like, the camera kind of skips to him, and he's like just like dancing and rocking out all by himself, like how you do in your bedroom when you're by yourself. And it's just little funny moments like that. It just really lightens the mood. But
also, while he's there, he realises, he's like, hey, I'm the first man in history to be alone on a planet. He's like, this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like this, like it's a tragedy in a way, and he's facing almost certain death, but pretty cool.
Yeah.
And he sees that side of it.
Oh, absolutely. And I think, I would like to think that, well, I know if I was in his position, I'd definitely be thinking, oh my God, I'm going to die.
I'm gonna
oh my God.
die.
Yeah, all of that. You think you're natural. It's this human being reaction. That's how you'd think. But I would really, really like to think that if I was in his position, I would just sit there in my spacesuit, get out of, like, because he's got a little hub where he can take the spacesuit off and stuff. But I would just go sit there on Mars and just look at the view and just think, I'm the only one on this planet, and that is incredible.
Yeah,
it really is.
I'm really looking forward to seeing it.
I really, really like it.
And yes, it's visually really spectacular. Like all the Mars scenery. I assume they filmed it in, like, Arizona in the desert. I don't know, but
they shot it in Mars.
Of course,
they did.
Of course,
they can do anything in Hollywood.
It's taken a long time to make this film.
Can I say something quickly? I mean, and you quickly realised it was a stupid comment, but it was quite funny. What did you say about the fact you go? Is this a true story? But you quickly realise that, okay, no humans have been to Mars yet.
But then I said, actually, that's not a stupid question, because the government could have done this, sent someone up, and we don't know about it.
Very true.
That's true.
I thought you were talking about the stupid comment at the end with the woman behind us in the cinema.
Oh, yeah, tell that story as well. That was funny.
So we've been watching this film for, how long was it?
2 hours, 2.5 hours.
Over 2.5 hours at least.
So it's an epic movie. It's an essay.
And Matt Damon is in considerably a lot of the film.
Most scenes
he is pretty much the sole actor in this film.
He is the title character.
Exactly.
He is the Martian. And
I'm not going to give anything away, but there's a scene at the end where you see Matt Damon, and he looks a bit different to how he did it on Earth. A tiny bit.
Yeah, sorry, because this is the first time you see him.
No.
No.
I knew what you were about to say.
Yeah, because you almost said it as well.
I know.
Oh, we're getting spoilers.
Yeah, okay.
It wasn't a spoiler. But you see him basically, like, a little bit later at the end, and the woman behind us goes, what did you say?
Is that him? And I was like, well, yes.
Yes, that is the man we've been watching for 2.5 hours. Is that him? Is that Matt Damon? Yes, it is, actually. So.
Okay.
It was a lot worse when we were there. We didn't really explain it very well.
Matt Damon, though. Someone pointed out today that Matt Damon, in Hollywood terms, they have spent a lot of money retrieving Matt Damon from places. He is the focal point in Saving Private Ryan. They spend all that money to go and save him.
Yeah.
In Interstellar, they spend all that money to go and get him.
Yes.
And now The Martian.
He's such a diva.
Now, I'm starting to think that Matt Damon is... You need to keep him on a leash.
Yeah.
Because he keeps getting lost in places.
Just think what he's given back to society, though.
He's Bourne Identity, he's Jason Bourne and me.
He's the Will, the Good Will Hunting. He's Will Hunting, that's the name, isn't it?
Good Will Hunting's a movie, Will Hunting's is
Will Hunting, yeah. So to think of everything he's given back, I think he's worth saving 3 or 4 times.
There you go.
I just got one more comment about The Martian as well.
Okay.
Again, it's not a spoiler. I just really like the fact that there is not a bad guy in this film.
It's true.
There's no bad guy.
Oh.
And it's really nice.
At a moment you think there probably is. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, there's like certain points. But
then you realise, oh no, everyone's actually kind of clubbing together for the same cause.
And it's really nice just to see a film where everyone is just, clubbing together, trying to help one human being. Like, they must have spent a lot of money.
You're pretty much saying it's a simple story, is not trying to trick you.
Yeah, like things keep going wrong, and you're thinking, "Oh, will he survive? Won't he survive?"
Yeah.
But there's no real villain.
No, the villain is the atmosphere on Mars.
It's Mars.
Yeah,
It's Mars.
Oh.
yeah. It's that whole kind of man versus nature, but this is a bit more extreme, isn't it? On another planet.
It's just nice to see that everyone's doing good in the world.
You seem very positive about this movie.
You know, I'm going
Everyone-
through some stuff. No, I'm joking.
Well, you are listening to The Really Real Show with Amy and Nick. Boy, these two can talk, aren't they? They're really good, aren't they? No, you should do a podcast, guys. So, yeah. You don't know what... oh, I was okay, my voice then. I would have been like... you can give us a tweet at Real Show CCR or go to the Facebook page or even the Tumblr or the Instagrams. We're all over the internet. All right, okay. This is The Really Real Show here on Children's Community Radio.
The Really Real Show with Barker and Parker.
Welcome back to The Really Real Show. Boom, boom, boom. Getting in the groove now. Towards the end of the show. Yeah.
We're loosened up.
Can it just be 15 minutes of this?
We could do, yeah. The bed is like 20 minutes long.
There you go.
Just leave it. Yeah. Enjoy, everybody. So I'm joined in the studio by... I don't know what... When I say it like that, it sounds really like... I'm joined in the studio by Amy and Nick from the What the Faux podcast.
Why? What? It sounds like what?
Sounds like late night, sort of.
Wow.
You know. Like,
We are a threesome of people.
but you love your adult movies.
Yeah.
It's weird introducing you as like the What the Faux podcast presenter.
Yeah, I feel
Considering
like
they-
I'm an outsider of CCR coming in. It's really weird.
Well, you're
I'm
not
still
the
part of the
outsider.
family, you know.
Yeah.
I might be the
She's
older
your-
sister.
She's your drive colleague.
Yeah.
at CCR.
I'm the producer.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
kind of my boss with that as well.
Oh my god.
I don't know why I
yeah,
keep putting
wow.
myself in this position where Adam's my boss.
Owns
It's weird,
you.
isn't it? Yeah, and obviously if you're listening to this as the podcast, you'll know what the Faux is because it's all over in the Barker and Parker Presents page on Spreaker.
Go listen to it.
Yeah.
I recommend you should because it gets listens to everything and it builds us up as a little brand. We've got a nice little brand. I would call you like not my sister show because you're not really connected at all to the Really Real Show.
No, they're different subjects.
You're more like the long lost sister, whatever,
Yeah, who came from the same home because we record in the same studio. Boom.
There you go.
foster sister.
There we
That's
go.
it. Yeah,
There we
I was
go.
about to say adopted, but yeah, that works as
Yeah.
well, doesn't it? Yeah.
So it's going no connection. Anyway, so we're talking movies on here, and we have talked. We have talked.
We have indeed.
We have talked more than I expected we were going to talk.
I feel like the directors need to take a few tips from us.
Hmm.
So,
I'm liking this. We've had discussions about space movies.
yeah,
We
Ridley
have.
Scott with
I could-
The Martian.
I could go on about Interstellar for longer, but we didn't have time.
No.
So, keeping up with the kind of like spacey sort of theme,
Mm-hmm.
I asked you two the question: what film would you recommend to watch if it was like your last day on Earth? Say Mars was going to crash into Earth.
Yeah.
Don't know if that could happen, but it might. Do you know what I mean? It might just suddenly fall and start coming crashing down to Earth. And they're like, "I'm sorry, everybody, but you've got literally 5 hours left to live." What, in them 5 hours, you're like, "Well, I'm stuck at home. I'm in my pajamas. I better watch a movie." What movie are you going to watch?
Okay. Well, you've just said that question in a different way to the way you worded it.
Oh, have
on
I? Have I
text.
completely changed it now? Have I?
Well, no, it kind of affects my answer a little bit.
I'm sorry, I didn't know my question was so
Well,
specific.
I kind of went into it in a philosophical kind of way, and I thought,
Well,
wow, okay, so I've only got a few more hours left on Earth. I don't want to watch a film, but if I have to watch a film, I want to watch the shortest film ever made, all right?
Yes.
And so I looked this up, and it's called Fresh Guacamole, right? It was a 2012 animated short film written and directed is it PES or PES?
I don't know.
I don't know. With a running time of 100 seconds, it was the shortest film ever nominated for an Oscar when the film was nominated in 2013 for Best Animated Short Film.
Well, there you go. Did it win?
Well,
Just nominated.
It's just nominated.
Oh,
But
right.
I think that's a very clever answer. Like, your question was, what's the film you'd watch on your last day on Earth? Now, last day on Earth, you've got a lot to do. You've got
Well,
a lot,
no,
you've got a
not
lot
you-
to pack in.
The idea was that you don't have time, and it's just like, just sit down and watch a film. It's your last film
Well,
you're going to watch.
now Amy does have time because she's
'Cause
watching
it
the
was only
shortest film.
100 seconds.
You've been watching The Martian and Interstellar too much, you two. You're starting to plan stuff. You're like, I've got stuff to do. I'm going to go and make some potatoes or something.
Well, yeah, exactly. I need to build something to protect myself on why this Earth is gonna. I need to make myself a ship so that I can survive in space.
You're going to be like the Noah's Ark of space.
Yeah. So I sit down, watch this 100-second film. Right, I'm done. I'm done with the film. Let's move on to the spaceship.
Until someone goes up to you and goes, do you know there was a sequel that's actually 4 hours long?
I say, mate, my life's too important for this. All right.
What about you, Nick? Have you actually thought of an answer, or was you trying to be really cheeky?
No, I just kept it simple.
Nice, thank you. This is how you should answer the question.
I'm too complicated.
Now, the obvious ones come to mind. You think of like an apocalyptic thriller or something like that, and you think, oh, maybe Deep Impact, Armageddon, blah, blah, blah. But I thought, no, if the world's coming to an end in a few hours, I want to take my mind off that.
Yeah.
Okay? So I want to watch a nice, happy film. And this links in quite nicely with my first answer about Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because I think you might be surprised by this. It's a strange choice, but one of his earlier films, which I really enjoy, I think is a really nice film, is 50 First Dates.
Yes.
I really like that film.
Who are you? I feel like... I just feel like I don't even know who you are right now.
We've watched that film at least 3 times together.
It's a good film, but really? Like,
Yeah?
It's getting awkward, isn't it?
Batman is your favourite film. I feel like...
What I'm saying, no, but you obviously didn't listen to my reasoning.
All right, yeah.
I want it to be a nice, happy film with a nice ending. You know, it's about the guy who makes this woman fall in love with him every day because she loses her memory, and it does end happily. Like it was
So
an old.
high
It's not a
maintenance.
spoiler. It's an old film. If you haven't seen it by now, you're never going to see it. It does end happily, and I really like it. And it's filmed on Hawaii, so there's a nice like beach scene. It makes me really happy. So if the world's going to come to an end, I want to take my mind off all the devastation and just watch a nice Adam Sandler love movie.
Okay.
Nice. I like it. Well
You're
done.
romantic at heart, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're just saying this now. When you get outside, you'll be like, nah, I'm going to watch like Fast and Furious. Man, lads.
I'm more likely to watch Fast and Furious than he is.
I've actually never been into those films.
No.
I love him. Like I said earlier, Too Fast, Too Furious was like my favourite film.
Do you like Tokyo Drift, the third one?
I haven't seen it.
Okay. All right, well, before we kind of get towards the end of the show, because we are getting towards the end of the show. It's only
Yeah.
an hour, you know, the show.
It's gone really quick.
It has gone too quick. We were going to talk about quickly talk about a film that you said you loved. I said I loved. You said you loved. Gone Girl.
Oh yeah,
We
I
only,
forgot about that already.
we only mentioned it about 2 minutes.
I know. I've literally mind of a goldfish.
Dory over there.
Dory.
Yeah.
That's
So-
what Jade. That's what my best friend calls me, Dory.
So Gone Girl, Ben Affleck, Rosamund Pike,
Amazing.
David Fincher movie. It's one of the movies that was like a massive book that all women read on a train.
Yeah.
Because that's where people read books now. That no one reads them at home. They're
Women
always,
read on a train.
if a woman reads a book on a train, it's like a bestseller. That's what they can do. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, read it on a train, it must be a bestseller. It's
So
like,
women are so susceptible to like advertising and stuff. Like, if it's on a shelf of 1 to 10, if it's a number 1 and they don't know anything about it, they'll still buy it.
yeah.
Nah.
It's got one quote on the front that says, "Women will love this." It's
Yeah.
Like, oh, I gotta get it.
I'll read it.
I gotta get
then.
it.
I'll get it. I'll read it on my way to work.
Yeah, and they read it, and they read it on the train, and so it makes them look like really cool. So then someone else says, "Oh, the woman on the train was reading that book. I've got to read it." Anyway, it was a massive book, and everyone's going on about, "Oh, you need to watch the film." And I was like, "Well, then don't tell me anything about it."
Yeah.
Because the problem with films that are made from books is that everybody wants to tell you about them because they go, "Well, I've read the book, so I know how it ends." You're like, "I
50
don't care."
Shades.
Then stop telling me.
50 Shades of Grey.
Don't get me started on that
Yeah.
piece of rubbish. But Gone Girl, really dark.
Literally
yeah, stunning.
one
Really
of
dark.
the best films I've ever seen.
Really, it's up there.
But it was a proper,
God, yeah.
it was a proper intense thriller, and like that's what you want a thriller to do. You want it to thrill you, and it was like real kind of what is going to
Yeah.
happen next, and you couldn't take your eyes off it.
So I'll sort of take you through my journey in my head of what happened. So I'm not going to spoil anything, but right at the start, it's about this couple, and they're actually called Amy and Nick. That's
No,
the characters.
That's why when I
Yeah.
thought when I was watching it, I was like, Amy would love this movie. I was like, and Nick, this is weird.
Yeah.
This is
I
awkward.
kind of felt like we was watching us. That's kind
Oh,
of
please
how our
don't say
life's gonna
that.
pan out.
Please
No, I'm
don't
joking.
say that. That's horrible.
Yeah, she is a psychopath.
And of course, the film starts, and you think you obviously don't suspect her to be mental at all, do you?
No,
you think
but
quite the opposite.
well, actually, that was kind of a spoiler now that we said that. But what I was going to say was at the start,
Is it?
they're a couple.
No, maybe. I don't know.
They're a couple, and it's just so. It's meant to be cringe, but they're just so over the top in love, where everything's oh yes, darling, oh yeah.
That's you too.
And it.
Don't deny it. Nick was saying it before the
Oh,
mics
no.
went on. He was like, "Yes, darling, would you like this seat? I'm a gentleman, and you can sit on the comfy
That
seat."
actually happened.
It did. See?
But it was sickly and I don't like stuff like that. Like even when we're out in public, I don't like public displays of affection and all of that. And it was just very over the top. But it was meant to be. It was meant to show this really intense relationship and how it's going to evolve later. But really wasn't into the start. And like you said earlier off air, Nick, that it did take a long time to get into it actually. But if anyone's going to watch it, please persevere and get through that.
Yeah.
It's probably only the first 20 minutes, but because it's a film, it feels longer than that. But oh my goodness, the twists in this film, you think, like, because I'm definitely one to make you pause the film and be like, I know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen. So at the end, you think I'm great because
Yeah.
I knew what was going to happen.
I'm
love
a detective.
I love that sort of glory. Like Broadchurch, did you ever see that on TV?
No, I didn't.
Oh, well, it's a murder, like a murder series.
did it?
And I guessed in like the second episode out of like 15 episodes of who it was, and I was bang on the money.
And at that point, there was no suggestion it would be that person.
Yeah.
And you got
And
it
I
bang
knew.
on.
I know. I feel like I'm quite good at like grabbing people.
Did you
So
predict?
proud of
characters.
yourself. Look at your
So
little
proud
face.
of myself, yeah.
Did you predict Gone Girl? I can't remember. Were you right?
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, no, this was,
Yeah.
and that's why I'm kind of addicted to it because I was like, this is gonna happen, and then like a little bit later, no, it's twisted again, and it's just like twist, 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 and I love it. I'm addicted to it.
I mean, because it's what I liked about it is the what people would have considered a twist isn't really a twist. It's just a plot device narrative which
Yeah.
changes the story, and it's not even halfway through.
Yeah.
So you're watching it, and then something happens. You're like, "Oh, I thought that would be the twist." No, it's not. I've still got another hour and a half of this
Yeah.
movie left to go. Mm-hmm. And then, I just watched it. I was like, "I gotta watch it again." And
Yeah.
Ben Affleck's so good in it as well.
Is
So
it? Well,
underrated in that movie.
Yeah, he
Both
is
of them
actually,
as
yeah.
actors were amazing.
I don't know anything about this actress. I hate her. I'm scared of her. I hate her, but I love her at the same time.
She's friends with Annie Hathaway, you know.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about this woman. She's a very good actress, though.
Yeah.
I can't watch her in any. We saw her in a film a month later.
We
in
then saw
something
her in
else.
quite a low-budget British film with David Tennant, something about holiday.
Oh, no,
Where-
that's really sad.
Oh, is it? Well, no, we only watched the first 10
Oh,
minutes, then we gave up
I
on it.
remember.
But because we knew, when like you first watch a film, we probably shouldn't do this, but you kind of knew, I'm not going to like this film, let's turn it off.
Yeah.
But she was totally different. Oh, she's also the girlfriend of Simon Pegg in When He Goes to Search for Happiness around the world.
Oh, yeah.
Hector.
And the Search
I
for-
don't like her in that.
Do you like that film though?
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was a proper like travel film.
Yeah.
The bucket list. Oh no, I'm thinking of the one with Ben Stiller.
No, you're thinking of Walter
Walter
Mitty.
Mitty.
Yeah.
No, Simon Pegg, Hector's Search for
Yeah,
Happiness. whatever
he's
it
like
is.
a journalist, right?
He's a
Therapist.
therapist.
Yeah, no, I did like that.
I love that. That was a film I knew nothing about, and I just put it
Yeah.
on Netflix. I just watched
Yeah,
it.
Oh, they're the
loved
best.
it.
Us too,
Absolutely
yeah.
loved it.
Yeah.
Oh, I love film.
Right, so we are recommending today. Go and watch The Martian.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
If you have watched Interstellar, re-watch it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
Should we give him an out of 10? Martian, I'd give 9 out of 10.
Oh,
Do we have to give a different score?
Yeah,
just
you
move-
can
No,
if you
do
want.
what you say.
Yeah, because it's hard.
No
Like,
halves.
So like something like Shawshank Redemption will be 10 out of 10. So
Okay.
yeah, Martian 9 out of 10.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yes, Interstellar. You got to re-watch that. What would you give that?
8 out of
8
10.
10.
Yeah, I would have said 8 as well.
Okay. 50 First Dates.
Wait, you missed Gone Girl.
No, we're
We're
back
getting
to
there.
that.
Oh, okay, sorry.
50 First Dates.
Yeah, I mean, okay, it's not like technically it's not a great film, but but if you enjoy it, then for me, I'd say an 8 for that.
All right.
I'm
okay.
going down. That's a 7 out of 10. I do like it.
All right, and Gone Girl then. Come
10.
on. You going 10?
10 all the way.
Oh,
It's hard again. It's yeah. I'd have
Come on.
I'll go-
Shawshank's a good film, but it's nothing with Gone Girl.
I'll go 9 out of 10 for Gone Girl. It was amazing. It was really good.
all right. Oh, the ending music. It's like a Disney film.
I don't like Disney.
No, you like Gone Girl Disney.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the end of the Really Real Show today.
I had fun. That went so quick.
It
Really
went
quick.
almost too quick. It's almost like we were on Mars time or something. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm just making things up. Now. I feel a bit left out because you've all seen it and I haven't. So
Please go see it. It's good.
Oh, well, we're going to go and see it next week. So thank you for listening to the Really Real Show here on Chelsea Community Radio. I've been joined by Amy and Nick from What the Faux Podcast. You can find that podcast on iTunes, on Stitcher, and on Spreaker. You'll find it if you type in Really Real Show Spreaker. It's there. It's next to that. It's like
Right next
I'm
door.
holding its hand.
Because they're foster sister, their
Yeah,
brother and
something
sister.
like that, isn't it? It's connected somehow. You'll find it. And also, you can catch Amy on CCR Drive and the Fresh Friday show. How you getting on
Indeed.
Fresh Friday? Still going? You haven't kicked Ryan off yet?
Not yet, no. he's
Ryan.
all right.
He needs to get a break, that kid.
He's survived nearly 2 years.
He's done well, hasn't he? Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's surprising. Right, okay, so yeah, that's the end of the podcast. I don't know whether Emily will be back next week. She's still off saving the world. So it might just be me or someone else. I don't know. So take it easy, everyone.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Sounds like someone's died, doesn't it? That music.
That's really sad.
Not good to finish on.
And there you go. That was a podcast. That was a show. Oh, that was a show. This is the podcast towards the end now.
That was a really good show.
And that was... Did you enjoy that show? Did you?
I really enjoyed it.
I've had loads of fun. Like, it's gone really quickly though. I think you need to do like a 3-hour show so we can really get
3
into
hours
debate.
talking, like just a talk show for 3
Yeah,
hours.
but then we can really get into those debates.
We could, wouldn't we? We could have a proper mass debate in this show. What? We could have a mass debate. There's 3 of us. That's quite a big debate.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't get dirty on this podcast. This is a family podcast.
I don't know what Amy
Did you
thought
hear?
you were saying.
Did you hear the show? I was talking about adult films,
Yeah,
threesomes.
with this podcast, I may be tempted to click that explicit button next to when I upload it. It's like, should
Maybe
I
you
press
should.
it? Well, I don't know. I'm scared
Yeah,
now.
it's borderline.
So as soon as Amy comes on,
Filth.
explicit.
It's filth. Absolute filth.
That's what our podcast is. It's just explicit, explicit, explicit.
Yeah.
Even when you try to bleep things out, it's still explicit.
Oh yeah. It's
Yeah.
because of Nick. Have you heard his language?
You were pretty good today. You haven't sworn once, which I'm very proud of.
I haven't even come close to doing it, have I?
Yeah.
No, it's. Do you know what? It's
Still can't swear on the podcast.
on what
Emily
the
will
foe.
kill you.
So you still can't on this
Oh, yeah,
one.
you would.
Okay.
Yeah.
On what the foe? I feel like sometimes you just go for it, don't you?
Well, maybe, but I think sometimes, like for the benefit of a story, it is relevant.
Yeah.
For the odd
And sometimes it's just fun to swear, isn't it?
F and Jeff.
Makes things a little bit funnier.
Have you not heard my podcast? Not listening one that I do.
Of course you
side?
have.
I thought you finished that one.
You've never listened.
I
Ever.
have. I've
You
listened.
were even on it. One of them. We did a bucket list one.
Were they the
I
ones?
thought that was really real. No, why would that be really
What's the
real?
podcast you do with the mates of yours that you met at your barbecue?
The not listening podcast.
Yeah, that one.
That's the
Oh, yeah.
that's the one that has a lot of
And
explicit
that's the
language.
one where
in it.
you. But I thought you'd done the last ever episode, and it got loads of listens.
No.
You've done so many podcasts, I get confused, Adam.
Well, that was the It's Not Soccer podcast I did with Billy.
Oh, okay. I listened to that
had
one.
Loads of listens. Actually.
Yeah, that did. Yeah.
Yeah, because popular people end on top, Nick. That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
End on top.
Yeah, too right.
Yeah. But I was going to say something. Oh yeah. Before we sort of end this podcast for you lovely people, any other Disney characters you hate?
All of them. I don't like Disney.
That's all.
No.
Emily would. How are you even friends with Emily?
I know it is very strange. I think we're very opposite people.
I don't
Yeah.
even think you're friends. I think you sort of say you're friends, but you're not.
We do.
You are.
We keep up appearances.
You're like the she's like a Cinderella or the white sort of fairy.
The pretty good one, and then
and
I'm
then
just
you're
like
the
the
nasty,
witch.
The witch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know how to explain it. I can see it in my head.
I could see what you're thinking.
Yeah.
I know what you think
When you
about
asked-
me, Adam.
When you ask that question, what Disney character do you hate? I'm assuming you don't mean any of the bad guys because you're supposed to hate them. Are you talking about
Yeah. Just
someone who's supposed to be a good guy in it, like Mary Poppins?
so I hate Peter Pan or something. Or
Okay, well,
I
no.
hate Cinderella. She's lazy. You know what I mean? I hate Sleeping Beauty. She's always asleep.
Yeah,
I don't have a passionate hate.
I
for
hate
her.
Snow White.
I think
Hangs around
actually,
with 7 men. Doesn't sleep with any of them.
yeah, that's true.
She teases.
She's a tease.
She's a tease.
No wonder one of them's grumpy. But I think the truth is with you Disney characters, I just don't think you care enough to hate any of them.
No.
That's true. Okay. Well,
But the other night, after a night out having a few drinks, when we got home, we watched. What else would you watch? We watched Hercules.
What, the Disney cartoon?
Yeah.
Literally 2 a.m.
But seriously,
drunk.
that should have been my answer actually for what film would I watch if the world was going to end.
Hercules.
Yeah.
Makes him cry every time.
I cry at that film, yeah. Even
Right.
when it begins, like the first song, when they're when the ladies are singing.
It's a happy song.
It-
Start singing.
What do
He
they,
starts
how
crying.
does the song go at the start?
I don't know. You've
Um,
watched it literally over 1,000 times.
Oh, and that's the gospel truth. When they turn the story, when Zeus and no, I'm not going to go into it. But you know the girls, the ladies I'm talking about who sing. They're like Destiny's Child, aren't they?
Yeah, they pretty much are like.
Yeah, they got sass.
All right.
A whole load of sass.
So there you go. So thank you anyway for listening to the podcast. Make sure you go to the Twitters, the Instagrams, the Tumblrs, the Facebooks, the internet. Real Show CCR. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Nick.
Cheers.
Thanks for having us.
And yeah, go check out their podcast. Do it. Bye, everyone. So I didn't finish it.
Bye.